What's up, people of YouTube? First disclaimer here, that weird buzzing sound is somebody's air conditioner. I have to smoke outside, so we have to deal with that. Now this video is... Actually, hang on a second. It might have been helped a little bit by me aiming the microphone away from it. Probably not much. Now this video is kind of a request from somebody. I uploaded the channel update while smoking, I guess, and a user called Pathetic Addict, I do believe your name is, commented, asked me about my smoking and asked if I could do a video about my history of it. So I'm doing that, and like I promised, Newport Reds, which, let me start off with the Newport Reds. Picture a cigarette that is not that bad tasting, very harsh, like Newports are known for, both menthol and regular, but between 5 and 6 a pack instead of between 6 and 7 a pack, in Michigan at least. So there's really nothing special about them, just more so they're cheap. Now, history of me smoking. I'm going to try and make this fairly snappy because my iPod's dying and that's what I'm recording on. When I was 15, I had a friend that smoked. And then I had another friend who came over and brought these two PS2 games. It was 50 Cent Bulletproof and Scarface, The World Is Yours. I believe those two games. And he was going to let me borrow them. We went over to the friend's house who smoked. And here's your peer pressure incident. The friend that smoked never tried to peer pressure me into smoking, but the one I brought over to his house said, "Look, man, I will give you both of those games if you just hit this cigarette." I was like, "Of course." Video games. So I did. And I did it all wrong. My first time hitting the cigarette, I hit it like a joint and just straight inhaled, and it just made me cough. But the nicotine rush from that one hit was great. So that was the first time. So between 15 and 18, I smoked a few times, a few cigarettes, nothing major. It wasn't until I was 18 that I became employed as a custodian. And my supervisor smoked Newport menthols, and she invited me out on a smoke break with her. And it kind of became my thing. Every time she goes out for a cigarette, she'd give me one. So I was like, sweet. And then eventually I moved in with my girlfriend. And that's when I started buying my cigarettes, Pall Mall menthols, the green pack, by myself. I make sure I would always have cigarettes. And I didn't think I was addicted until we broke up and I went to my grandma's here, who didn't know I smoked yet. Now, even though I was 18, I didn't want her to smoke because I knew she would just be so furious with me. So I didn't bring my cigarettes, and I was like, fuck it. So I left my girlfriend's house, came here, didn't bring my cigarettes, because I didn't think I was addicted until that night. I was so angry laying there, and I cried myself to sleep. The addiction was real. So after that, I went to my dad's house, and my ex-girlfriend at that time went with me, because we still kind of would hang out a little bit and talk to each other to try not to cut contact, because we still had to be in contact temporarily anyways, because I still had some of my stuff there. And my dad thought that she smoked the cigarettes because he saw the pack. We actually fooled him, but then I was thinking, wait, why are we tricking my dad? Fuck it, I'll just tell him. So I went into his apartment with her, and he said, "Elijah, why do you smell like cigarettes?" And I was like, "Dad, because I smoke." That's literally what I said. I didn't say, "Well, let me tell you." I was like, "Dad, because I smoke." He was like, "Elijah, I told you about that." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I guess I try not to smoke too much," which was a lie, but it was just to try to comfort him. And he said, "No, what would make me happy is if you didn't smoke fucking menthol. Why can't you just do regular?" And my mind was like, "That's all you gotta say? Is why the fuck don't I just smoke regular?" Which I do now. Because of him. And this is where I feel bad. He'd been Oh, my hand's shaky. This is where I feel bad. He had been vaporizing his nicotine through a vape, so he hadn't smoked in over a year. And then he said, "No, I want one." So he grabbed one of my cigarettes and lit it, and here was his reaction. He went, And I was like, oh my god, I did not just do this to my father. Which, it's his fault, he did hit the cigarette, but I tempted him, so I feel bad to this day about that. But he does mainly just vape now, so it didn't cause any real problems. And that's when the addiction really just came out. I'd be smoking daily. And it was kind of rough because I'd been laid off, but I still found ways to get my nicotine. My dad did help me out with that. And then I went to stay at my mom's. No, I went to watch over my aunt's house, and I was smoking cigarette butts because my grandma, who lived in the same town, still didn't know that I smoked. So my friend, who I had started smoking with at 15, came and stayed nights there with me, not just to hang out, but also to bring me cigarettes, which was a cool thing. You're very cool for that. And then I went to stay at my mom's. She kept me nicotined up, made sure to buy my cigarettes if, like, she saw I needed them. I feel so bad just, like, accepting things from people. But that's when I got introduced to start rolling them myself with the pipe tobacco, the tubes, and the little blue roller, which I am going to start doing again. I only got the Newport Reds for 2 reasons. First and foremost, I had to get a pack of cigarettes because the smoke shop where I was going to get tobacco and tubes was temporarily closed because of a computer error in their whole system. So I had to walk over to Speedway and grab a pack of cigarettes. I figured, hey, Newport Reds for this video. So I did. Now, me being introduced to rolling them myself led to, of course, long eras of doing that. So fast forward to further into me staying at my mom's for a week or two, and my grandma called me and said, your dad just informed me that you smoke, threw a big, huge fit over Facebook and the phone. So eventually, a day later, she said, well, why don't you come stay a night with me? I was like, no, Grandma, I can't because I'm a nasty, dirty smoker. And she said, well, against my better judgment, you can smoke on the balcony. This was over a year ago. She's like numb to the fact that I smoke neutral. Like, she doesn't say anything about it. She does say, you need to cut back or you need to quit because of mainly the financial aspect of it, which is why I'm going to start rolling them myself again. You save a lot of money. So I did. So basically, at this point, everybody... Asshole with the chainsaw. Asshole with the fucking chainsaw. So, at this point, everybody had known I was a smoker, a dirty, nasty smoker. And then, I, at this point, had gotten re-employed through my custodial company. At this point, I got re-employed through my custodial company. Come on, do it. Keep killing nature. Come on, asshole. Why don't I just throw this in the woods and take care of it for you? I got re-employed through my custodial company and started buying cigarettes by the pack again. Started with Camel Crush Menthol. Well, started with the Bold. And then they discontinued those. I was so unhappy. Then I went to the green pack, which was Camel Crush Menthol, is what I would tell them when they gave me the green pack. I went from those to the point where I would just be numb to the fact that it was menthol, so I switched back to regular. And have been either on Maverick Red or Newport Red since. Now, I did reach that desperation point of here and then you'd have to buy the cigarillos. I did vape for a little bit because it saved money. And I also crushed up the cigarette butts for the tobacco and rolled them up like a joint. Which was true desperation, but it wasn't all that bad, actually. And I guess that brings me up to now, the making of this video. That's my journey through smoking. Not the most exciting, but not the most mundane either. Has its ups, has its downs, but smoking itself is mainly just a big down. That all being said, thank you for watching to the end if you did. If you would like to like the video, please do. If you would like to subscribe to me to see more videos, please do that as well. I am thankful for every fan I get, and at this point, if you subscribe to me, I'll probably end up subscribing to you just to return the favor. all that in mind, have a great day, YouTube. Here's your video, my friend who asked for it in the comments on my last one. Good day, YouTube.